Yes, I like this child because this child is such and such. Nah, nobody got time for that. So welcome back to The Angry Teacher. I'm Richard Williams, the Angry Teacher, and today I'm going to teach you how to write student recommendations. Hang around, we're going to learn today. Now, this time of year, around October, November, students start coming to you asking for recommendations, especially if you teach seniors. Some juniors do it, but mostly it's for seniors. And so you don't really know the kids yet, but this is something that used to daunt me, but now not so much, because it's become a little bit, there's a template for everything. It's become a little bit, trite, where I know exactly what's gonna happen this time of year. So I've set up a template, a form that everyone can use. All right, so here are about maybe 3 or 4 tips that can help you guys kind of navigate that. You're still figuring out what you're teaching, you're still figuring out the kids, and if you like them enough to write a recommendation, and all this stuff is going on in the building, and now you have this kid or these kids in front of you asking for recommendations for colleges, recommendations for scholarships. They want to join a different these different organizations, and they need recommendations from their English teachers or from teachers in general. So here's some tips that could help you navigate this. There are about 3 types of them. There's school-generated ones, there's the phone calls, and then there's the regular actual letter. But let's start with number 1, the school or scholarship-generated recommendations. They have these where they send it to you. The kid has no control over it. After they've applied for it, then there's a email that comes from this particular school or comes from the particular scholarship, and you click on the link and you fill out you check for different boxes for whatever applies to that child, and then you might have some short responses area, or you might be able to upload an actual letter recommendation. Here's how you can navigate that with ease. The first one might be the most elaborate that you might have to do. I do too, and I'll tell you why a little bit later for the first one. But okay, so here we go. You go ahead and you check the different boxes and you fill it in. You might not know the kid a lot, so here's a tip: ask for a resume, no matter who they are. Ask for a resume so it can give you an idea of who the kid is and what to put on this recommendation. Even if you know the kid, you might not know everything or what they do. They ask for, how long have you known the kid? What are their strengths and weaknesses? So this is where you have to type something in, and you can kind of save it in a Word document. After you've typed it, you copy and paste it, so you have it to use for another child later, right? So it doesn't matter that you don't really know them, because you have the resume and you fill that out in the beginning and you have that. That's the first type of recommendation that you can do. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for the next Angry Teacher video, because you know it's going to be dope, man. Number 2, the phone calls. Now, a lot of job applicants, they would ask you for the phone number, so you can receive the call from the companies that they're applying to, or even if it's a school or coach and they're giving your phone number, make sure, if you want to use a Google number or your own, it's up to you. It depends on how well you know the kid and how well you trust the kid. And a lot of times, because this has backfired on me, several times. Well, not several times, like maybe once or twice in the past, where in the beginning of the year I do this glowing recommendation for a kid, and then they turn around to act the fool in my classes later, and that I wasn't doing it for them to not act the fool, but kind of some form of gratitude would be nice. But in any case, the phone calls, make sure you're upbeat. Once again, ask for a resume. That's first. Always ask for a resume, because you don't know the kid off bat. You don't know them that well, or well enough, unless you live with the child. You don't know them well enough to give this glowing recommendation. So ask for a resume. When you get that phone call, when they tell you to expect a phone call, when you get that phone call, be as upbeat as possible about the kid. Try to act like you've known them for at least a year, right? you sometimes, and usually when I get these phone calls, I'm never around where when I have access to the resume. But try to have the resume on hand, and then you're checking, yes, he's been such and such, he's this good, he's that good, or whatever. Also, when you have the saved document from when you've copied and pasted and you've saved on a Microsoft Word document, you can always go back and insert name here, insert gender here, and change stuff around because you already have it. So you can have like a script as you're reading when the job calls or the school calls or that coach calls asking about a kid. So when you're giving the recommendation, have the resume there and be as upbeat as possible. The third one, and I'm not even sure what colleges do with this anymore, I need to go find out, but the actual letter. So you have the recommendation letter, and I have like 3 different forms of it. I kind of rearrange paragraphs so it doesn't look like it's the same kid. Not that they're all going to the same school or the same scholarship and everyone's going to be talking to each other. I don't know. But it just makes me feel that I'm not giving the same recommendation to to different kids, right? So I have the template. I've saved some I've saved them all rather on Microsoft Word. So when a kid asks me, okay, you're a male, you're going to you're applying for a scholarship, I got you. Those are 2 things. I look for that template on my jump drive, and then I change name, insert name here, insert gender, and now I've gotten so savvy, I do males separately from the females, and all I have to do is change names. Look at when you get the resumes, you can kind of, that paragraph where they ask about all the stuff in the GPA and what they've done, that's where you need the resume. So you kind of change that part. That's the most work you're going to do. And then you send them off. Next person, I got you. All right. So you're applying for a job. No problem. I have a template for that. Gender, you're a female, I got you. So here's what you do, here's what I got. You gave me the resume, I have everything for you, and we're gonna put it in. We're just gonna plug stuff in. Insert name here, insert what you've done in school, insert your abilities, we're good. I don't have to keep typing over a new one. So these are my 3 recommendations for writing recommendations. Don't let them stress you out. Kids are going to be coming out of the woodwork. Their jobs, their different programs they have to get resumes for. So they need to have that at the ready. And then they're going to be asking you for recommendations. And once again, it's usually before we get into the second grading period, the second part of the year, second semester. So it gets a little bit hairy, gets a lot of work, and you're still trying to figure out your building. You're still trying to figure out who these kids are before schedule changes and major schedule changes. So it cuts down on the stress and the time that you're going to be using to sit and, oh yes, I like this child because this child is such and such. Nah, nobody got time for that. So we're just gonna keep typing in our templates. We're gonna have our scholarship recommendations in a folder. We're going to have our job recommendations in a folder. College admissions in a folder. Male, female separately. You can even do one for athletes. So you know exactly, okay, this paragraph talks about their athleticism. Let me put stuff in. Okay, you play volleyball. Wait a minute, last person played football. Let me adjust. Insert sport here. Insert ability here. Insert capabilities. So that's it's so much easier. It's a hack that I've used for years and it works. And you know what? Recommend to your kids. Here's a tip. Recommend to your kids Common App or Black Common App. I think that's the name of it. There are 2 of those that you put that recommendation in once, and as many schools as they want, they get that recommendation. You don't have to keep doing it for that same kid 400 times. All right, because it's saved on that platform and all the schools can access it. All right, thanks for coming to class today. I want you to go out there and be great. Hey, let's just go out there and teach.